And welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. Today we're taking a look at the two films that make up May 23rd, 2014. And of course, the biggest of the new releases is X-Men Days of Future Past. The Ultimate X-Men Ensemble fights a war for the survival of the species across two time periods in Days of Future Past. The characters from the original X-Men film trilogy join forces with their younger selves from X-Men First Class in an epic battle that must change the past to save our future. The film features an ensemble cast that includes Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Halle Berry, Anna Paquin, Ellen Page, Nicholas Hoult, Sean Ashmore, Peter Dinklage, Ian McKellen, and Patrick Stewart. Written by Simon Kinberg, Matthew Vaughn, and Jane Goodman, and directed by Bryan Singer. Now, the X-Men movies have been on a roller coaster, though. I liked the first one. I liked X-Men United. X3 was just okay. X-Men Origins Wolverine was a piece of shit. X-Men First Class was okay, but nothing spectacular. And the Wolverine was pretty damn good. This one, I think, really is the best X-Men movie we've gotten up to this point. I mean, it really is one of the best X-Men movies of all time. Of course, the next one they do after not the next one after this, but the one that comes out after the next X-Men movie, directed by Bryan Singer, the one with Hugh Jackman in the R-rated version of Logan, R-rated Logan, I should say. That's the best one, but this one, up to this point, was the best one that came out at that point. I mean, this movie was just perfect in every single way. It got everything right that the last four X-Men movies couldn't reach after what X2 did, succeeding in providing everything we wanted to see in an X-Men film following the events of X2. It delivered on all of that, and I was hoping for another X2. I was hoping for after X2 and also adding in some of those great elements that made First Class enjoyable for the parts that were in there. The cast overall is very good, especially Hugh Jackman, who works off not just the original X-Men cast, but also the younger cast very well here. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Nicholas Hoult, Jennifer Lawrence, they work off each other very well here. They're given a lot more to do. The effects on the design of Holt's Beast and Lawrence's Mystique are definitely a lot better than they were in the last movie, easily. Everybody in the movie has a reason to be in here, and Singer does a good job of not wasting these characters and giving them a purpose, unlike another recently rebooted franchise. Seriously, fuck you, Amazing Spider-Man franchise. But, yeah. I talked about an Amazing Spider-Man 2, that Stinger clip they added in the UK. It's in here, too, and once again, pointless BS added to a... Probably pointless because it was a movie where it really was unnecessary to throw that in there in the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, even though it has no connection to this movie whatsoever. But, yeah, you get the idea there. But Peter Dinklage is a pretty badass character in this, playing Bolivar Trask, and he is just a force that's not to be messed with, man. I mean, there's a reason why he's one of the more memorable characters on Game of Thrones, and just such a badass actor overall. The action sequences are very good, and Singer knows how to shoot these scenes very well. Keep the action simple to understand and easy to see. And I think the visuals overall, vast improvement over First Class was. I mean, that stadium scene alone is the proof that they put more money into this, and it showed. And it does not look fake at all. The story is nicely put together, easy to understand, and simple to understand. Everything about this movie just works so well. It did everything that I've been waiting the X-Men series to do since X2, and deliver it on a big scale overall. Bryan Singer proved that he was still a force that was not to be messed with, giving us a very solid X-Men movie overall. It delivered on everything we could have asked for. It was at that point the best X-Men movie ever. And then he had to go and ruin it with X-Men Apocalypse, which really, I mean, it technically wasn't really his fault. I mean, he was part of it, but there were far more other things that were very wrong about that movie. But we'll get to that one in 2016. But at the time, we were excited to see the King come back to where he started, pretty much. But I wouldn't even say the King, but you get the idea. It was good to see Bryan Singer back at the X-Men franchise, because it was clear the guy knew what he was doing from the get-go. And, of course, you had to bring him back in here to tell the story of Days of Future Past the right way. And he did it right here. I love this movie. Days of Future Past, classic X-Men film. What more can you say? So, with all that said, let's go ahead and move on to the other movie that we have this week, and that is Adam Sandler's latest comedy, Blended.
What are they doing? They're cleaning themselves. Must be really dirty.
Blended, rated PG-13, starts May 23rd.
And yet, this is the Adam Sandler movie that wasn't the big box office hit. You try to explain that to me. I mean, because, yeah, he's made some bad... I mean, Grown Ups 2 was pretty bad. I mean, all these bad... I mean, Jack and Jill, Just Go With It, all these terrible movies, and yet this is the one that actually is really good, and then nobody goes to see it, unfortunately. It's just something is wrong with this world, man. I mean, even today, it's still... But that's one other thing altogether, but... In this movie, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, for the third time collaborating after The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates, they're two single parents who went on a blind date together and never want to see each other again. And to their surprise, they both end up at the same African safari resort with their children and are forced to stay together. So it's another one of these movies where Adam Sandler uses this as a write-off to go on vacation. I mean, he even admitted during the production of this, when he was during the marketing for this on Jimmy Kimmel Live, there's that interview where he literally says, I literally did this to go as a tax write-off to go on vacation. But unlike some of his other movies that were tax write-offs, this one actually does work really good. Is it a great movie? No. But it works because Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore just have that great chemistry that we saw in 50 First Dates and The Wedding Singer, and it shows up again in this movie with not as many of the best jokes overall, but again, it works because these two just work off each other so well. They are such a likable couple in this. And yeah, you want them to get together at the very end of the movie. You also got a great cast. It also includes Kevin Nealon, Terry Crews, Wendy McClendon-Covey. A lot of Adam Sandler's regulars are in here as well. But unlike movies like Grown Ups 2 and Jack and Jill, the effort was there to at least make a funny movie. And they did a good job of making an overall really funny film that does lead to a lot of really good elements to it. There's a lot of really good funny moments in here, a lot of good moments between Sandler and Barrymore. There aren't as many of the ridiculous gross-out jokes that are not funny like the other Adam Sandler movies. You could tell that they were trying in this film very hard, and it works very well to a T in here. Everybody plays their part very well. You know, the film is just overall very, very enjoyable. It's one of Adam Sandler's better comedies he had made up to this point after years of making these just god-awful movies. But unfortunately, it was just one good gem out of a series of really bad ones. Because once again, after this one, yeah, he returned to a lackluster comedy the next summer with Pixels. But we'll get to that one next summer. But yeah, this movie overall, though, I really enjoyed. I think it's one of his more underrated comedies. It's one I feel like should have been a much bigger hit, but when you release it in the middle of summertime on the same weekend as the far superior X-Men Days of Future Past, yeah, what do you think was going to happen? But I digress. But X-Men Days of Future Past is amazing, but give Blended a shot. It's actually a pretty good movie overall. I really enjoyed it. Blended is one I recommend. And so with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies, and the next time we meet, we've only got 2 more movies once again. We've had a couple weekends where it's just been 2 big blockbusters overall, but most of them have been pretty good. We have Angelina Jolie starring as the Disney villain Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty in her own movie called Maleficent. And then we have Seth MacFarlane's big feature directorial follow-up to Ted, A Million Ways to Die in the West, which is kind of like his Blazing Saddles for the next generation. Was not a big hit when it came out, and even I thought that it definitely wasn't as good as Ted. But hey, 12 years have gone by since then. Has the movie gotten better over time? Well, I'll tell you all about that tomorrow on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the previous episode we did. Now, with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.